I'd like to start off this episode by reciting my favorite Halloween poem by Shel Silverstein. Liars line the road at dawn, watchful eyes upon you held. Sacred weapons to the sacred revealed, to the unleashed upon the council of hell. Blood flows down the streets at night where wolves cry out for flesh, where a horrible curse taints the woodlands nearby with the forms of the walking dead. Unholy inversion of hope, twisting the faith of the meek into hate. Driven insane by the Dark One to bring forth the bidding he speaks. The undead are among us. At dawn they shrink back to their silken beds. They dance by night and drink the blood of a child's broken neck. Welcome back to Death Metal Pug. I'm Lunatic of Pug's Creation. I want to be a rock star when I grow up. The purpose of this is to have fun and talk about music. If for some reason we can help out your band, project, or business, please reach out to us at deathmetalpug@gmail.com. Death Metal Pug does not have social media, and you should just fucking go outside. I'd like to thank Dave Mustaine for being on last week's episode. String Thing from Hop Butcher. Let's get this Halloween party started. That was super dorky. Oh crap, it's all like hazy and shit. Figures. Hoppy. We need more eyes on the band Recorruptors' new album titled Sorrow Will Drown Us All. This cheery little release came out July 18th, 2025. Recorruptor, which I guess means to corrupt again. Their name sounds like a cheesy thrash metal band, but I assure you, it is not. I don't know, imagine like a cheesy thrash album titled Recorruptor, where there's like a creepy cop being corrupted again or whatever. Death metal, melodic death metal, deathcore, Black Dahlia, Cattle Decap, Aborted, the band Carnosis, if you know that band by chance, which that band is one that's kind of like Black Dahlia Murder on steroids, and I kind of get that as well. The real cover for this Recorruptor album is creepily similar actually to Carnosis's excellent album titled Visions of Infirmary, Infantry album. It's like the covers are like really similar. I like that 2023 album by them a lot actually. The Worm one after that, not so much I guess. That Ancient Death album had eyes all over it too, right? Is that weird? The start of Recorruptor's album has a seemingly boring intro track, but if you pay attention, it does subtly move the tension forward of the upcoming album in kind of a cool way to the ripping start of its title track, Sorrow Will Drown Us All. I guess sorrow breeds sorrow. Very emo title, like the sadness is going to sadden all of us to death via suffocation. That's not real chipper. Sorrow and the next three songs like all roll together before you even like realize it when you're listening to the album. Sorrow starts in like a very familiar like vocal pattern style type of way, but then like the really high like Trevor or Travis Ryan like rasp kick in. This like collection of chaos is one of the best moments on the album, from when this like first actual song starts all the way through. You know, the first three songs is pretty awesome, and it finishes with these wicked vocals on the final moments of the track called Within the Vault. Before you know it, track 5, Urn of Vageless, gets noticed because the pace actually slows in a manner that's not done on the album in a while. So chunks of that song has a slower vibe to it, but it's not a boring song or anything like that. It's just like not as busy as the other like 3 songs that precede it. I think the vocals just don't go as crazy on this one, and it has like a cool like stompy ending to it. The pacing on this whole album is great. The stomp here tees up the guts of this album, which I really chime into. So song 6, Envenoming, mixes up the track by varying the vocals and faintly the guitars with effects in kind of a noticeable way, which is actually very welcoming at this point on the album, right? Song 7, An Unnatural Lust, is my favorite by far, with its amazing vocal performance on that song. Song 8, Devoured by Centipedes, is not only a great title, but it has a cool like breakdown at the end of the song. I'd almost say like a collection of like 2 breakdowns that almost lead up to the conclusion of that awesome song. No lyrics come up in my music app, so I can take this title literally, as I do hear like some of the lyrics mention like creepy crawlies in the song. The only thing grosser would be devoured by human centipedes, and I saw that movie, so I'm not so sure that's possible. I tried starting a human centipede fan club, but no one wanted to be the leader or the follower. Honestly, it's a poorly organized structure. On the movie set of The Human Centipede, they never said the phrase, teamwork makes the dream work. Be aware of this relationship red flag. If they say, I love that we're so connected, it might be a warning. If I'm ever in The Human Centipede, I hope they put me in the back. Not for survival, I just don't want the responsibility of leadership. Funny how people spend their whole lives worrying about their legacy, then one guy in Germany proved your legacy could just be who you're stuck behind. I mean, at this point, Recorruptor really could have ended the album on Devoured by Centipede and it would have been totally satisfactory. But when you have like 5 years between albums, I bet the ideas kind of stack up on you. I'm glad there's more though. The next song, Insidious Rot, is heavy and awesome as well. This whole album just feels so full of music. It has so much in it. Like nitpicking a little bit, I'd say that it needed a track that varied its chaos a little more to like maybe draw down the tempo so they could pick it back up. So it's not just like shotgun blast to the face, shotgun blast to the face, shotgun blast to the face, shotgun blast to the face kind of thing. Track 5 almost does this, and track 11 is a short instrumental that sets up the album closer, so it kind of varies the pace through that a little bit. Needs maybe more like memorable sing along moments, like maybe like or like a pause, or the chorus would have like a chorus is strung together would have really rallied it together, or that's just like a old cattle decapitation trick that I'm just kind of like thinking I need to have from this as well, like boom boom boom. Have you heard this album from Recorruptor? I'm actually interested if you have, or if I've just kind of been out of the loop, because I did not see this thing come out, but it's been out for like a month now. If not, check out Recorruptor's new album, Sorrow Will Drown Us All. You might remember at the end of May, we jumped into Archspire's independent album campaign by pre-buying merchandise and pre-funding the new album to be released independently. And our last update on this was in August, actually. Archspire updates!
We had bought into the Archspire independent label campaign, so we got in on the package for the merch and everything for that. Definitely went ahead and bought in on the largest package that was not equipment. And also we'll add the email that we received on the screen just to prove like we actually did it. I'll keep you up to date on the process. Everything on this album is written and recorded, except the drums. The whole thing is expected delivery is spring of 2026. We contributed, so we bought into a tier 9 package. June 16th, the drums were completed. I got a notice on June 28th as well. They are charging my credit card. And they sent an email through the Kickstarter and said, okay, now it's time to choose, right? For example, well, the first thing they asked about was like choose the color of the limited vinyl edition that you want. There was like a gold one and a what's referred to as a green apple one, so it looks like kind of like a half green, half silvery kind of thing. I honestly don't remember which one I picked. And then there was what size and what style of t-shirt you want, right? So Death Metal Pug went ahead and picked the size of t-shirt and then the different t-shirt and stuff like that. And then part of the whole thing, you get, I believe, the CD. We'll pop this stuff up. I can't remember if it's a tape, a flag, something like that. So it was time to pick the materials, right? They've recorded the album. They're gonna go ahead and basically like, print it to stuff, start for distribution and those kind of things. So it's cool to see this kind of following through, and we're making our selections. And again, this album is expected to come out in spring of next year, 2026. And man, we look forward to it. This has been kind of interesting.
Liminal Cipher is the new album title. About a week ago, we got an update from the Kickstarter campaign, actually. And what's new here? So we received this email update, probably when this is out, it'll probably be like 2 weeks ago, I guess. It says, hey, Kickstarter supporters, you may have noticed we've been quiet for a while, and that's for good reason. We've been very busy behind the scenes getting this album release ready. What have we been working on? There are a lot of moving parts to this release. Producing music, videos, contracting album artwork, negotiating, distribution deals, and booking tours to support the album. It's a brand new world for us to navigate, which has been both extremely rewarding, but also super time consuming. That said, Archspire continued to say they're still on track for a spring 2026 album release. We can't wait to share it with you, is what they say. It features what they feel is their best material to date. If you've enjoyed our previous obnoxious, unlistenable albums, you're sure to love this one. So nothing here revolutionary in this announcement, other than that they are on track, and that is good news, right, buddy? Thank you. Here is Jeremy in the long sleeve, full of hell, triumphing ecstasy album cover shirt. Jeremy broke out this top shelf merch as he was going to a band merch / vinyl swap meet that day. Jeremy Shats! Jeremy Shats! Jeremy Shats! What's with the shirt? I know you're gonna put this online, so I'm just gonna talk to the camera. How did I get this shirt? I got this during COVID, so that couldn't go to concerts time during COVID. Went to band camp, bought a lot of things, tried to sort of support bands that I knew were really gonna struggle during that time period. And you should do that by buying things from bands directly and buying things at the shows and giving them a lot of support. This shirt shirt, though I don't think was hypocritically bought through the band directly. I think it was one of those like companies that makes the shirts, the cool shirts, and I can't remember what it's called, but you get them in the back of the magazines or online or whatever, right? So this was bought, Frozen Soul shirt. So I got this and then I wore it to, I did end up wearing it to the Frozen Soul / Sanguine Sousa Pug concert when they toured together. Was that 2021 or 2022? So it was around this time of year. So just a couple years back. It was like a return from COVID show kind of thing. So I'm sure we had to like show our COVID vaccine card, and we had to wear masks and everything in the place. After the show, we were hanging out with, so Frozen Soul, they hung out like by their merch and stuff. Right after the show, I think it was like, I think when it wrapped up, and it was the singer and it was the bass player. So she stopped me and she was like talking to me and she was like, hey, thank you for getting that shirt. And she informed me that she had drew and designed this shirt. So she drew this and designed it, and in like oddly, in a funny way, like I didn't like take a photo with her in the shirt. Like she was like, "Can I have your photo?" And then she took a picture of me in this shirt, like at the show. And it was funny because the first time she took a picture, she was like, going to frame it up, and I'm just like standing there like, the dumbass that I am. And she's like, hey, like throw some horns up or something. So somewhere maybe online in the bass player, her whatever Instagrams or whatever, has a picture of me probably like standing by their merch table in this shirt, like doing this. I do plan to be at the Sanguine Sousa Pug, Defeated Sanity, and Despised Icon show November 5th in Chicago. I went to a Maiden show before, so now they like have my email and they spam me every few weeks. But just found out today that there is a late 2026 US Iron Maiden tour run that has been scheduled, and I got an email about it. The one in Chicago is September 2026, and the tickets for that date go on sale Halloween Day, so the 31st. So that's coming up. So if you can make a Maiden, if you can make it to Maiden like a fucking year in advance, heads up. Last time I bought a ticket to Maiden, was that a year ago? Might have been like fall last year or whatever. I got the ticket in the parking lot. It was like somebody like gave it up, couldn't make it, and I was just kind of like riding it out kind of thing. So I was just waiting like, well, somebody's not gonna be able to go to this, and then I'm not gonna have to pay like the exorbitant fees or something as you get closer to the start time. The ticket price goes down. Speaking of Halloween, a lot of folks ask me about playlists, and I've mentioned the Halloween one in a prior video. So in, Halloween spirit, I thought we'd just go ahead and talk about it. Will you get my phone, bro? Let me just pull it up on my phone. Halloween playlist. Okay, here we go. There's gonna be some obvious stuff on this, right? And I think you have to have some obvious things on something like this, of course. So Ghostbusters, huh? Oh, there's a surprise. This is gonna be like a mix, right? This is gonna be like something that you can actually play somewhere. So, really a Halloween playlist, right, would just be like Typo Negative, Cradle of Filth album, Typo Negative, Cradle of Filth album kind of thing. Principle of Evil Made Flesh, but Dusk in Her Embrace obviously is the best one to play. But don't skip on Damnation and a Day from Cradle. That one around the Halloween time, it scratches that itch for that. Damnation and a Day, I think that's the one. Hopefully we can put that up. This is Halloween, Nightmare Before Christmas, right? Like, it's funny how like much that'll cross over. Like, rock and roll in that particular like stop motion animation Tim Burton movie there, Nightmare Before Christmas. There is this song, right? This album rather, from Ulver, Ulver. I think it's the same band, but they got this like pumpkin Halloween orange album. So I picked this Alien Howl, Aleen. Pick whatever you want from that album, if I recall. I didn't want to put the whole thing in there, but really any track from that I think works out in this case. Stranger Things, it's funny how like much that has integrated into the culture now, especially in like a scary movie dynamic. Like Stranger Things, I see that on the youth a lot. They've seen that show. I only watched the first season during the pandemic, I think. Is the only thing I saw from that. I didn't like watch the other seasons. Pet Cemetery by the Ramones, I like that one, just even if it's not Halloween. Wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. Addams Family, of course. I Want Candy, Bow Wow Wow. That joke is, candy at Halloween kind of thing. Another Ulver song, this Achilles Milk, is a good song to play on here, and you're gonna hear like the references, right? It's the John Carpenter kind of stuff. You can use those kind of things too if you want. And then just any Cradle of Filth like entrance songs, so like whatever's on the first track of any album they have would have this intro song that's going to be spooky. It's going to be like walking into, the Doors or something. Make the Boomers happy. Jam in a Rolling Stones song. The stuff's actually good. If you think of the Rolling Stones in its time frame when it came out, it was pretty rockin'. Spooky Scary Skeletons has become like kind of an old song, but a modern day classic that's been redone that is super excellent. It's kind of a fun thing to do, and it lightens the mood for a second. Oh, Bloodletter has a sweet song called The Monster Thrash, and it is like a whole like pun to the Monster Mash, but it is a thrash metal version. That is something that you should take away from this. Time Warp, of course, is a classic built into that. That's somehow associated with Halloween, although it doesn't actually have anything to do with Halloween. Typo Negative, pick a song, pick your favorite song. I like AFI's version of Halloween. I get it. Misfits, it's a classic. If you drop those Misfits albums though into a playlist, like it sucks all the energy out because it's so quiet, right? It's very reduced. So this one has like the popping bass on it, and just Davies like screamy, loud, high-pitched Halloween is so much fun. Hallowed Be the Name by Maiden, of course. None, the band None, the depressive band None, black metal. The Damn Chill of Life is probably my favorite song by them from my favorite album by them. I think I've heard two. Scary Music, I really only listen to None. Most often, right? So it's on this list, yeah, duh. I most often listen to None like, how you're coming home from a concert, you're driving home, and you're like, I can't listen to like Deicide or Cannibal or something, or anything Blood and Candy. I can't listen to the pummeling, from Recorruptor again. I need like something a little different, right? So None is a perfect end of the night, driving back home kind of song. A Nightmare on My Street, kind of nostalgic for me. Growing up, seeing a lot of those like goofy horror movies and things. I think that was in there. Fresh Prince, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. I think my younger brother had that album growing up, and I used to make fun of him for having that because I knew it sucked. And now, super hypocritically, it's on my Halloween playlist. Twilight Zone music, that seems like a no-brainer. One time I was at a trunk or treat, and they were playing Feed My Frankenstein from Alice Cooper coming from their speakers, and I was like laughing because I was like, man, that seems like an obvious one. Pumpkinhead by the Misfits, the Danzig one, so the one that sounds like, it was produced in this last, 2,000 years. Tales from the Crypt, Spooky, Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue. That's just fun, right? That's a great... different version of Ghostbusters. Thriller by Michael Jackson's no-brainer. People like certain Rob Zombie songs too. Dragula. Gotta have some Manson in there. Sweet Dreams. Oh, this Uda song, The Wanderer. This Uda song. Don't skip on this. It is an atmospheric one off that album, so it's not like the other songs, but it kind of fits in, and it's not gonna melt like your neighbor's face off. Like, oh my God, what is this like? Evil Heavy Music. Did Fear the Dark come up on here? That should definitely be on here as another Maiden song, right? The Munster song, Hungry Like a Wolf. I got that off of like a kid playlist or something as like a Halloween song, and I was like, you know, fuck it, that's fine, you know, might as well. Grinning Ghost, the Exorcist theme. I mean, you know, that's just plays in haunted houses like all the time. Rattling Bones, these like pumpkin songs. Go ahead and make note if you want like these kids songs on here that you can use and transfer over if you need to. Banana Boat, right? So that's from Beetlejuice. That's why this was added on. So people associate that with Beetlejuice, the season, the scary. My neighbor has one of those large animatronic like Beetlejuices, and it has like different sayings it does. It'll like turn its head and, you know, just like say those like snarky Beetlejuice things, you know, to you. Hey, baby. You know, just like that kind of thing. Teenage Dirtbag. I don't know why that's on there. What's New Scooby-Doo? So this is actually a cover song by Simple Plan. Check that out. And Slasher Dave is probably some stuff I got off of some niche lists and stuff, you know, from it. By the way, this is my Halloween costume this year. I'm a pancake. Get it? That's it. The Metal Boy.